Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
Well, it starts with another one to roll the dice here for week number 6. We're live from the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway to present you the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution. It's the Recharge Rally 200 from Las Vegas. Welcome in, everyone. On V-Speed, I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Alex Gagnon. All season long, we've been bringing you flag-to-flag coverage. Well, a shakeup in the points. I would say a shakeup, but a two-time winner this season already, 4 or 5 weeks into this thing. It's actually week number 5, I believe. I think I might be 1 week ahead of myself here. As Jeremy Burns puts on 2 wins. You've got a win with Nick Alves, a win with Brandon Richardson, but they've been struggling as of late, falling down out of the top 10 in points. And you're starting to see that separation between Jeremy Burns, Trevor Keith, Matthew Robinson from the rest of this field.
Yeah, you're starting to see it spread out just enough here, and those 2 wins back-to-back here for Burns put him a healthy advantage over TK and Matthew Robinson. And this is the point of the year when we start hitting these intermediates where you really got to start finding your stuff if you don't want to plummet out of the top 20.
So as we go through this segment of the season, we'll have an off week in 2 weeks' time. Homestead up next, but it's mile and a halfs that are going to dominate the end of this first 6-race stint. Track map on your screen. March 30th, 1996. This track has seen a few reconfigurations, and you're actually seeing the outdated version on the back of your screen right now. iRacing recently updated the lighting and all of the art on this racetrack, so it should be more up-to-date, more real-world scenario for what we see here tonight. They've also, as though they said, they did not change the scan on this racetrack. It seems like turns 1 and 2, the bumps are a little bit more severe, and we'll see that here tonight when drivers get alongside one another. Race analysis up on your screen as well. 134 laps here today, 45-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit with 5 tire sets available, 2 green-white checkers, and our stage lap at lap 40, of course, on that iRacing fixed setup. But with that, it's time to go trackside and get that... well, I just about did it again. Coastal Financial Pole Award up on the screen. And you said it was a little bit of a surprising name here tonight. Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's Dakota Floyd putting it on the pole here tonight. Congratulations to him getting the top spot in the number 57. Going through the rest of your grid, though. 31.030 is enough to beat Alex Forget-Berube in the number 19 for row number 1. Row number 2 goes to Tyler Harrison. We'll have that Twisted T-Cam on with him as well. Rob Rader in the number 4, he's the one to look out for. He is winless this season, looking to make his first one, the 4-time champion, in 4th position. 5th goes to Jeremy Burns, John Fike in 6th. Your points leader there in 5th position, Al Likens and Caleb Gilbert, 7th and 8th. And rounding out your top 10 is Michael Call and Justin Ritchie.
Row number 6 tonight is going to be Michael Reed and Michael Bennett alongside him. Back to 13th and 14th. It'll be Kyle Diaz and Kyle Stewart from Orlando Jr. Nick Alves make up row number 8. Daniel Holloway, Travis Gilbert makes up row number 9, and rounding out your top 20 on the grid, Parker Johnson, Dylan Picklesimer.
21st position, Matt Robinson, Devin Hudgens. And we have Chris Nail, Trevor Erhardt, 25th with Grant Thorpe, Justice Murphy deep in this field. We have 33 cars here tonight, and for race number 5, we're going to roll the dice. Here we are live from Las Vegas, week number 5. I said it in pre-race, the driver to look out for is going to be the number 53. He's looking for his first win this season. He takes away the lead from Dakota Floyd. He's already pulled out half a second off into the sunset on the Nellis backstretch.
Yeah, he is absolutely flying into turn number 3. Dakota Floyd now trying to hold off Tyler Harrison, who's going to take a peek to the outside here for second. That 45 machine going up the hill, not going to be able to get it done that time. And coming to the line here, it'll be Floyd, Harrison, Fike, and Burns, your top 5. A little bit of shuffling in that lead group in the opening couple laps. But Rob Rader looks like he's been shot out of a cannon here tonight. And he has already opened up an over half-second lead in the opening 3 miles.
In the background, we almost had 3 wide there for a moment. Looked like Justin Ritchie was to the inside, but Michael Call and Michael Reed side by side and matching colors, and you won't even see that they just traded paint coming out of turn 4.
And now they are 3 wide going through the front stretch. Going to try to settle it back in here. Maybe not, though. Caleb Gilbert all the way down to the apron, had Burns above him. We jump back here. This is the battle. Kyle Diaz, Justin Ritchie just outside the top 10. A lot of cars happening. All getting chucked. Yeah, there's a lot to keep track of here as Burns is going to take a look to the inside of Fike. That's for position number 4. He's going to take that spot and look to the inside of Dakota Floyd.
54 of Caleb Gilbert also looking for the top 5. Up 2 positions already. A little mistake here for the 9. Had to back up his entry into turn 1. He'll get to the inside of Dakota Floyd. Floyd falling fast back to 3rd. And Tyler Harrison has moved up. He's already up 1 spot, but he's moved up, I feel like, a lot faster. He's catching up to your leader now, shaving off some time.
Yeah, that gap's starting to come down just a little bit to Rob Rader. We jump on board here with the Recharge Rally Twisted T-Cam. You're seeing what the 45 is seeing here running out in P2, trying to run that middle lane, trying to get this run down the back straightaway to close in on race leader Rob Rader. Didn't seem to make a ton of time there through 1 and 2. And it looks like they'll be running that similar lane about a groove off the bottom here in 3 and 4.
Here comes the 9 of Jeremy Burns to look for 3rd position as we got off that Rally Daddy Twisted T-Cam, presented by Recharge Rally. In this race here tonight, Recharge Rally 200. Recharge Rally is a multi-day driving event planned specifically for car enthusiasts. And this August, you can join 70 other car owners for a road trip loaded with car adrenaline pumping activities. From back road driving days to private track events, you'll have every chance to experience what your car was built for. Registration for this year's rally is open. You can head to rechargerally.com to join. That link in the description of this live stream. Here on V-Speed, we've enjoyed the action so far for the Chapman Environmental Cup Series. We've also been presenting you the Truck Series. On Monday nights, we had a little bit of a bye week there with St. Patrick's Day. We'll be back to that in just a week's time. But a lot of names that cross over from both series, and unlike a lot of series, the trucks aren't capped. They're not I-rated capped. It's not really a feeder series. It's its own entity. So these guys might have a chance to get some practice on the new art. You're seeing right here through 1 and 2, Alex, this new update to this racetrack, it is very difficult to stay on the inside and carry any momentum out of the corner.
Yeah, well, we've been seeing that a lot here as we're watching this battle with Kyle Diaz and Michael Bennett. You can just kind of see cars that are on the inside here coming off of turn 2 specifically really seem to struggle getting the hammer down. You're seeing multiple cars jump to the high side and are able to carry that momentum that the folks on the inside just do not seem to be able to carry when there's a car directly to their outside and they can't push all the way up to that outside wall. Looks like Diaz is going to be able to do that this time, and there goes Michael Reed. Oh, big moment, big save for the 89.
Go back on our V-Speed instant replay and get a look at this. It hasn't ended here. Reed and Call were going at it. There was contact there. But now this is coming off the corner, and that was a Reese's machine. I want to say that was the 13 of Likens that got into the back of him.
And taking one more look here. And they work the left.
Nope.
No, it looks like the 89 just moved up too far, made contact with the 57 of Floyd, and he lost it. That was the angle to clear the 13 there. He was not even involved in that one. He was close to it, but it was the 89 and the 57 getting a little out of sorts there.
And you saw the bumps right there. Kevin Orlando hit that apron a little bit, but the car actually pulled down the racetrack because of those bumps. We got car hitting the wall in the background back here. I think that was just to the outside. Might have been Trevor Erhardt in the 15 of Trevor Keith goes to the inside to avoid it.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers back here who are trying to work their way back toward the front who we don't typically see buried this deep into the field. Folks like Trevor Keith and Trevor Erhardt back there. You see the on board here with the 15 trying to look to the outside of Turner here for position number 22. Qualified back in the 28th position, so moving forward slowly but surely here for the 15.
Well, he's got a tsunami in front of him here. Where does he go?
At this point, you just pick a car that you think is going to be able to make the move and stick with him. It becomes a little bit like super speedway racing when you get these two lines. You just figure out who do you think is going to move, and you go for it. Or do you think about making it 3 wide? We've seen that happen a couple times already here today, and to this point has not worked out horribly yet.
Just in front of him, side by side between Justice Murphy on the low line. Looks like Hudgens there on the high side. We look at 3 wide here. Keith cut the tri-oval. He's going to have the momentum swing. Justin Ritchie, Parker Johnston getting loose here for Ritchie on the outside. 55 almost fishtails through 1 and 2. Hits the wall. Gets a little squeeze up near that backstretch. And this is for 18th position right now. You'd think this is, 10 to go.
Yeah, you'd think. Not only 15 laps into the race here. I mean, they're going 2-3 wide, multiple rows deep, trying to get this thing sorted. Parker Johnston trapped in the middle here. He's going to work his way through the wall just in front of Ritchie. And he's 3 wide as Devin Hudgens was to the inside. As we jump up front, Caleb Gilbert trying to get around. That is Tyler Harrison there for 3rd. And Jeremy Burns has caught Rob Rader up at the front of the field.
That he has. It's down to 0.2 of a second. These drivers have checked out almost 0.7 from the rest of this field. Rader trying to keep his car in clean air. Where have we seen this before? Oh, it was last week at Phoenix.
And that has certainly been the case. We've also seen a number of battles over the past few
Rader
seasons.
getting loose.
Oh, here comes the move from the 9. Pouncing on him to the outside here in the 3.
Rader got really loose there on the exit of turn 2. That opened up the door. He was courteous there. He's going to come down pit road. Short pit for this stint.
I'll try the short pit the stage. I'm going to give up some valuable points. He's currently 18th in the standings. You'd think he'd like to take those points, but you're probably thinking he'll be able to jump out in front here when we hit the stage. I don't know if everyone's able to make it on fuel, so an early pit here for the 53. We'll see if anyone else joins him the following lap.
No takers as of yet. Side by side here for the 5th position. There's the 57 coming down pit road. So Dakota Floyd going to choose to short and undercut this stint as well. This is actually at the halfway mark of this stage. Lap 40 being that stage lap. But I would have to guess that these guys can make it all the way. It might just be tires at this point.
I mean, maybe. There's definitely some noticeable tire fall off with the laps they're running right now versus the laps they were running at the start of this race. It's about a second off or so from where they began, give or take, depending on how steady they've been. Here comes Tyler Harrison. The only couple takers who have been pitting to this point are all the folks right up at the front of the field.
This long pit road, 45 miles per hour. Actually, it looks like they're going 55 here. So they might have bumped that up a little bit. iRacing, of course, not going to update that information, but you can see the 9's going to come down. So this pretty much confirms that these drivers are trying to either undercut and flip the stage, or they can't make it on fuel. And I'm guessing they can't make it on fuel because we're seeing a lot of takers down pit road. Fike as well in the 65. Dylan Picklesheimer in the 35. This has been kind of a variety of cars in different positions through the field.
Yeah, initially it was just the folks up at the front, but we had a few takers that lap who were running deeper in the pack, so looks like at this point just about everyone's going to be trying to make their way down pretty soon. Not Caleb Gilbert yet, though. He is pretty comfortable leading by a 1 1/4 up front, getting his first couple laps led of the day. Here comes another taker. That's Justice Murphy in the 12.
So as it continues on, Justice Murphy hits his stall perfectly. Side by side between Michael Bennett and Kevin Orlando Jr. for the 3rd position.
Well, Bennett blinked out there for a second. Seeing him pop back in the screen was a bit of a jump scare, I'm not going to lie. That Pacifico number 14 going to try to ride the fence, maybe? Nope, going to take that middle lane. Not enough, though, to take the spot away from Orlando Jr. He's going to settle back in the 3rd.
So I'm trying to get the chat up. I accidentally closed it out. But for any of you that have a driver, you want to see some TV time, go ahead and shout them out in the chat. We'll try to do that as we see the 14 now of Bennett come down to pit road. It's been one or two cars at a time here. It's not a whole flood of cars, and some of these guys might be committed to the long strategy.
Yeah, some of them might be. And I think we're going to be seeing that through a couple of them. We got a crazy battle a little deeper in the pack. Michael Call was 3 wide for a second in the middle here. They're still trying to get that sorted out. See, it looks like might have been Devin Hudgens was able to clear the pack for now, but I mean, just a moment ago they were running 3 wide, but they are still, oh, there's the 3 wide. Rob Rader on the fresh tires trying to snake his way through the middle.
You'll feel like Superman. It was almost a full second of fall off in just that 15 to 16 lap stint. To the outside of Trevor Keith, and Keith gets loose. Oh, a dive to the bottom. He is methodically weaving through this field. Trouble in the back.
Oh boy, that is going to be a huge damper for the cars who just came down pit road, including Alex Forget. Going to be putting them in a really awkward spot here with the pit cycle. Looks like Grant Turner's around. Bringing out the first caution of the day here on lap number 26.
So that actually hurts a few of these drivers that had got pinned a lap down as well.
Yeah. Including Rob Rader and Jeremy Burns, Dakota Floyd, all the leaders really who hadn't cycled through yet.
Turner already had some right front damage, so he's clipped the wall once before this moment. We'll see if he had any help here coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, he's running that middle groove, a couple of faster cars on fresh tires trying to work their way on by, and nope, just lost it.
Well, and he pulls it back to the right there to keep it off of Tyler Harrison, and I'm sure that's appreciated by the 45. But it's just unfortunate for the 39 that he had a car to his inside when that happened.
Yeah, it is. So he's going to come down pit road, as does everyone who did not stop already. A huge break for the 54 of Caleb Gilbert, the 91 of Michael Reed, and several others who have yet to come down pit road. That pit cycle was still really early on when the caution came out, so it's only going to screw over really the cars who were running in the top 5 before the pit cycle.
Yeah, this puts a damper on a lot of these drivers that were trying to undercut the strategy. And you see there for Caleb Gilbert, he took 4 tires, but you had Michael Call, Daniel Holloway, and a few others come down pit road. They took fuel only on some of these stops. Maybe 2 tires for some of these drivers. But Michael Reed will be the command car, and there's all the wave arounds going by now. As we cycle back around.
Quite a few.
Yes.
I'm cycling through probably about 8 to 10 cars here to all get on to the tail end of the longest line. And, you know, they'll get their lap back, but they're going to lose a ton of track position before the stage. And any hopes of picking up some stage points here probably dashed, because there's a lot of cars they'll have to work on through.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed while I try to get that chat working again, but we appreciate you coming out here, and I'll be in communication with you just momentarily. You're watching the Recharge Rally 200 live on V-Speed. More coverage right after this.
Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. You know, it's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today.
Back here live at Las Vegas, we're rolling the dice in stage number 1. Some drivers trying to short pit, undercut this strategy. A caution comes out midway through stage 1. Throws the whole strategy out the window. Michael Reed and Michael Call, the command cars for this restart. Green flag's out for the second time at Vegas. And it's about to be a cluster of cars trying to get back to the front, get to the top 10. That's about where they would have cycled out. We have 3 wide down the backstretch. Nick Alves fanning around, but you have the 41 of Erhardt. Looks like Grant Thorpe in the mix as well. Contact with the 27 car. And it looks like side by side continues. 3 wide, 2 or 3 rows deep as the 9 weaves his way back to the lead. He's outside the top 10. He needs top 10 to get stage points. The 9 of Jeremy Burns on the move. And on board here with Jeremy Burns, your 2-time winner this season, trying to make it number 3, but he has to catch Rob Rader and try to prevent him. The 4-time champion just in front of him by 2 spots as he goes by the 91 of Michael Reed.
Now he's going to have to find a way to split the double team here. Reed going all the way up. Burns going to go to the inside. He'll take that spot away. He is dicing through this field right now on the fresher tires.
And it's good to have you back here. That microphone is crispy now. Whatever broke, you fixed it.
Well, whatever it was, hopefully it stays resolved, and we'll leave it at that. I don't know what was going on, but we should be back and rolling here. And tell you what, Matt Robinson put himself in really good position here just before the stage.
Robinson in the second position, and we're coming up with 8 laps to go now in stage number 1. If you're this far ahead of the field, you're pretty much guaranteed, unless we get a caution, you're guaranteed these stage points. These guys have pulled away 7/10 from Parker Johnston, and quite a few names up here in the top 10 that haven't really had good stage races. Kyle Diaz, I think, got some stage points there at Phoenix, but some of these guys like Hudgens and Trevor Erhardt, they've just not had consistent races all the way through.
Yeah, there's certainly been a couple of them, and there's still positions trading hands here in the closing laps. We're looking at this battle. Devin Hudgens on the back bumper of Nick Alves, and just behind them it's Rob Rader lurking. You see now Hudgens going to step out to the inside, try to make a move down low. That was cut off by the 24. And now Rader going to try to swing that high side around, see if he can make anything happen in that different lane. Got a good run off of turn 4. He's going to close right into the back bumper of Hudgens, and here's his move to the inside.
What a send there to the bottom, but can you carry that momentum off of turn 2? No, he cannot. A little brush with the wall there from Alves. He's going to send it again here in 3.
Looks like this one not going to be the opportunity he's looking for either. He continues to poke around the backside here of the 84, just trying to find his way through. We'll get to 5 laps to go on the stage. Here comes Jeremy Burns now, going to try to take that spot away. This is for the 8th position. Oh, almost lost it. Rader almost lost it in 1 and 2.
He wanted so badly to keep that 9 car behind him, and it didn't work out. And now Jeremy Burns is going to choose the high line through 3 and 4.
A little bit of fresh air on the nose.
Pretty impressed, though, with this top 10. They've been able to hold off these guys that were leading earlier in this race.
That they have, and I think part of it's just been how fiercely they've been battling. There's been no opportunities to really jump in and take the spot. You see Hudgens and Alves still going at it here for P7 or P6. Looks like Burns going to try to step his way in. That way outside lane starting to come in a little bit here for the 9. is going to get him potentially past Hudgens here and right to the back bumper of Alves.
On the back bumper of Alves still has Hudgens to the inside. Running the high line again here through 1 and 2. Going to run out of racetrack on the exit of turn 2. They'll go 3 wide. Alex Forget in the middle. Hudgens on the bottom. They'll settle it out into the entry of 3. Caleb Gilbert. Looks like 2 laps to go in this stage. He might just have it sealed up.
Yeah, unless Matt Robinson gets a crazy run here in the closing 3 miles of the stage, looks like it'll be the 54s. He's the only car within a stone's throw here of Caleb
He gets
Gilbert.
loose.
Yeah, he had to really get that car settled back down. Going to cost him a lot of time down the back straightaway. We're coming to 1 to go. The battle for stage points is on. Al Likens and Rob Rader. Battle for 10th here. The 13 and the 53. And that Tyler Harrison in the mix as well.
So looking at the top 10 with Gilbert, Robinson, Johnston, Erhardt, Diaz, Alves, Berube, Hudgens, Burns, and Likens. As it sits right now, Rob Rader is not going to get stage points for the top 10. And Caleb Gilbert is going to come through turns 3 and 4 to end stage number 1 here from Las Vegas in week number 5. Stage winner, the 54, Caleb Gilbert.
Nicely done there from the 54. He had stayed out later than anyone else in the top 5 during the green flag pit cycle. And that decision ultimately paid off in a big way with the way that caution fell. Got him the lead on fresh tires and never looked back. And there's folks on your screen there, the folks getting stage points here. Big opportunity for a couple of these guys. I think most notably a big bump there for Robinson. You know, he was sitting pretty high up in the points as well. I believe he was 3rd. So he gets a big boost in stage points there. Will actually jump Trevor Keith in the live point standings for 2nd.
So stage 1 is complete, and that should bring everyone down pit road, at the very least for fuel. And I'll venture to say 4 tires is the call here.
You may as well set yourself up for success over this next long run. The way the racing was in the opening stage, it would indicate to me at least that we should be expecting some more healthy green flag racing here in the back half of this one. So giving yourself as long of a window to be out on track and fast is going to be critical. And it looks like everybody is making their way on down.
So the long pit road, we can confirm it is 55 miles per hour down this pit road. At least that's what my telemetry is telling me. Gilbert, Diaz hit their box. There's Berube. And the 9 of Burns, the 57, your pole sitter. It has not been a kind race so far to Dakota Floyd. He lost a lot of ground initially, dropped back 8 or 9 spots, and then with that cycle of pit stops, he found himself in the same boat as Rob Rader. Just couldn't make that ground back up.
Yeah, and I believe he ended up 12th in the stage, so got some of those positions back, but not enough to get any stage points out of it. So far, it's just been a tale of almost, but not quite for the 57, but he's got a lot of race to go here to try to work back some of that ground he lost.
So we were looking at that stint of about 12 laps or so. Kyle Diaz elected to take fuel only, as did Devin Hudgens and John Fike. Then you have 4 tire stops from 4th place Caleb Gilbert, who won the stage all the way down the field. Looks like the 26 is going to think twice on that. Got a lap lead out of it, I think.
I believe he did. And that'll be a nice little extra point. Maybe he didn't.
I don't think he did.
Tough break. Tough break.
So that's going to hand the lead over to Devin Hudgens, and he is on fuel only for this stage. Things got really interesting just now. Caleb Gilbert probably going to get to the inside as soon as possible. It's going to be really tough to hold off the rest of this field. If you're Hudgens right now, strategy outside looking in, this race goes green, it's probably not going to work out. If it has a quick caution or two, who knows? We could salvage the day with a top 5, no problem.
And there's always the gamble here, especially when you find yourself a little deeper in the pack. You know, you try something different, at least give yourself a chance. And that's what the 84 is going to be doing right now. Restarting on the front row alongside Caleb Gilbert. Got some really fast cars here lined up in the top 10, both from that opening run and from what we saw in that 12-lap sprint.
Well, here we go for stage number 2 at Las Vegas, the Recharge Rally 200. The remaining portion of this race, 90 laps to go, and we're underway. And out of a cannon here on this restart for the 84 of Hudgens. Can he hold on to it, though? They're going to have a big run down the backstretch.
It was a great launch for the 84. Here comes Robinson to the inside with a lot of speed. He's just going to drive his way to the back bumper of Devin Hudgens off the 4. Here comes the 11 taking a peek to the inside. And they are 3 wide almost behind him.
Rob Rader there going, weaving in and out of these cars. You saw him doing that earlier.
Oh, we're 3 wide at the front. Now make it 2. Robinson to the inside of Gilbert.
Gilbert in the middle. He got the stage 1. The 11 couldn't catch up to him this time on the restart. He is to the inside, and they'll go all the way through the tri-oval, almost a full complete lap with the 11 car to the inside of someone.
We'll eventually shuffle back out here to P2. Here's Devin Hudgens in a battle with Nick Owls for 4th. The 84 starting to fall back just a little bit. You're going to see more and more cars probably dive to the inside and make that move as we see 3 wide deeper in the field. Orlando Jr., Harrison, Bennett, all door-to-door in 3 and 4.
Holding on to it as we watch the 27 get clear of this. The 45 of Tyler Harrison still not clear. Back on board with the Rally Daddy Twisted T-Cam. Hard to the inside right now. No, he clears Bennett. You look back at the 14 and the 91 going side by side through 3 and 4. A little bit tight here for Harrison. Reed's going to peek inside. What a move here for the 91.
With the last possible opportunity to dive in, makes his move, takes the spot away from Harrison. Michael Reed on the march toward the front. Can score him now up to the 14th position.
Still side by side, you have the 13 of Likens inside of Parker Johnston and the 48. Johnston got stage points. Now falling back a little bit here. The drivers that started this race up front starting to slowly work their way back to that top spot. 53 of Rob Rader into the top 10 now, into 8th position. You have the 9 of Jeremy Burns up to 6th. These guys fighting outside the top 10, just trying to hold on.
Oh, and it's 3 wide just back there. Reed, Picklesheimer, Murphy all trying to sort this thing out. That was 3 wide only as they were entering the corner. It was a late move from the 91, and he's been shot out of a cannon. He's making it 3 wide again. To the middle of Johnson and Hudgens, 4 wide.
And somehow they make it through. Picklesheimer is going to force the issue. 3 wide again coming out of turn 2. They hold on to it. Harrison on the outside of the 48. Here comes the 57 of Floyd. This is all for 11th position, folks.
There is simply no way this is sustainable how hard they're racing each other right now. But man, is it fun to watch as you see Dakota Floyd gonna rip the apron, try to take that spot away. Harrison, though, gonna shove Johnston through, and they're all dooring each other in the one.
57 got up into the 45 a little bit there in the entry of one. I don't know if Harrison came down. You can see in the background with the 27 of Kevin Orlando. He's trying to take it 3 wide again. It is 3 wide with the 10 in the middle. Stewart.
Oh, and almost a bit of contact with him and Schaefer. They got a little out of sorts there. Devin Hudgens, this fuel call has not worked out for him. He continues to plummet through the field here. He's all the way back to 19th. And dropping more as Grant Turner takes a look to the inside. You can add Sirkovich to the mix there as well.
Some of the best racing that we've seen this season. Michael Bennett now to the inside of your pole sitter, Dakota Floyd. Floyd back in the 14th spot. This position battle. They're 3 seconds back from the lead right now.
Just been some absolutely phenomenal racing throughout the pack since the restart. Meanwhile, up front, Caleb Gilbert starting to feel like a bit of a lonely island up there. He's starting to get some distance to Matt Robinson. And Robinson, though, going to have some company with Erhardt and Alves here in a minute if he's not careful.
This has kind of been a flip-flop from what I was talking about pre-race. I thought for sure we would be more worried about Jeremy Burns and Rob Rader. Rader, of course, showed last season that he could get around this place. But the 9 of Jeremy Burns has probably risen his confidence level with back-to-back wins. He talked about Phoenix, where the season was lost there in the 4th season. Now we come on to the 5th one. Burns finally put it together at Phoenix at a track that ruined his championship. He's looking in top shape here, up to 4th now.
That was a good move to get by Nick Alves. He runs up to 4th. He's got Trevor Erhardt just in front of him in that 41 machine. Meanwhile, Forget following Burns through. He's up to P5. He's had a quietly good day so far, Alex Forget. Qualified front row, but had to start with EOL. So we have not seen him up toward the front much of the day, but he is up there now. This is as high as he's run in P5.
Nick Alves loses the position. Rob Rader up to 7th. Michael Reed and Justice Murphy 8th and 9th. And Dylan Picklesheimer, solid day for the 35 car. He has quite the gap back here to Tyler Harrison of about 3/10 as they're side by side just behind Dakota Floyd, Parker Johnston, Likens, Bennett. We'll throw Orlando in that as well.
Yeah, about a little 5-car battle here for about 12th on back. Al Likens, the highest running of the bunch. Maybe not for long. Here comes Floyd and Johnston to the inside. 2-for-1 special, drops to 13, back to 14th. And the 48 going to try to rip the apron here, see if he can get around at 57, but the pole sitter, a great run on the outside, going to get that spot back.
As I said before, it's a frustrating day so far for Dakota Floyd. You start on the pole, now you're just trying to get back to the top 10. And the pace he's having right now, would not be surprised to see him do it within the next 12 or 15 laps or so. But it's still got to be frustrating. You plan to have clean air to start this race out. You've been in traffic the whole time.
Yeah, it's, some days are like that. The one thing still working in the 57's favor. He still has a lot of time. He doesn't need to force the issue right away. But you see, he is not afraid to get all the way up to that wall, try to get as much momentum as he can carry coming off the corner. Maybe get a second of clean air on the nose of that race car. And you see, he just pulls right up to the back bumper of Tyler Harrison here through the front stretch. A great run, and now the 57. Thought about going all the way up to the wall again there, but I don't think he got the entry he wanted. He fell way back from the 45 that time.
Yeah, carrying a lot of that momentum, but backing up that corner is the other part of it. He's in dirty air right now. And you kind of hit that bubble. You see the back spoiler on this car. It's a little transparent, but it is making a lot of wake. And these front ends on these cars are so aero dependent. To get any bite with those front tires, you almost have to have 0 cars in front of you. You see right there, Floyd to the bottom now. A lot better drive off of 2. They'll stay side by side down the backstretch. Look at Picklesimers. They're going to go 3 wide just in front of this battle.
Picklesimer trying to hold off Justice Murphy here on the inside. Easier said than done, though, with Michael Reed taking a peek to the outside as well. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th on track. The 35 trying to play the lines and trying to hold them both off here. Stop Murphy on the front stretch, going to block Reed down the back stretch as we see some more battling here, and someone got way out of sorts. That was Justin Ritchie who ended up on the apron. Had to work his way back on track, and he nearly just washed up into Daniel Holloway.
We'll see this coming out of turn 2 on the back straightaway. He's going to get loose coming out of turn 2. I don't think he hits the wall. He just gets loose, chases it down the racetrack, and good save there for the 55.
I'll tell you what, while all this was happening, we've had a pass for the lead. Matt Robinson has jumped over Caleb Gilbert here, and he has taken advantage. Jeremy Burns and Alex Forget not too far behind as well. I wonder if something happened to the 54. He had a pretty healthy gap ahead of Matt Robinson.
Back this up a little bit here. Let's hit it one more time. You see Rob Rader in the background there, went 3 wide. There was a lot of racing going on. We'll just back this up, see what happened. I'm not sure if Caleb Gilbert, I think he just got a little loose out of 4, and that allowed the 11 with the momentum to the outside. And once he got the nose there, the 54 couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, now he's going to be trying to play catch-up here. And he might have some more work to do as Jeremy Burns has just made his way on around the 54. So Caleb Gilbert, after leading a number of laps here since the restart, is going to drop back to 3rd. He's got Alex. Oh, big wreck. Reed into the back wall. He got tagged by, was either Kevin Orlando or Dakota Floyd there, I think, coming out of the corner. Absolutely doored that wall.
Replay button getting a little bit of a workout here recently. Looks like the handling's starting to fade away on these next-gen stock cars.
So it's Justice Murphy who's to the inside here of the 89. Call gets loose, bounces off the side of Justice Murphy, and just hammers that outside wall. Lost about 5 or 6 spots there just in the back straightaway. He's probably got some pretty significant damage.
Well, he's going to settle out here in the 17th position, but yes, that car is damaged. He is having a heck of a time keeping it down off the wall and maybe burn the right front off of this thing as we are starting to approach that halfway mark of this race. I think we're right at it right now. So I think it's an opportunity here. We like to ask you to find those volume knobs here on V-Speed. Let's just get loud for a few laps. For the Recharge Rally 200 here from Las Vegas, let's turn it up. Caution is out. Somewhere on the racetrack we've had a problem. I think it's Devin Hudgens who stayed out on that fuel-only strategy. It looks like the tires finally let go after an additional 26 laps on the 84. And it was enough to send this car around.
take a look here. See the replay. Oh yeah, 84 around big time. Looks like he may have also tangled up with Joe Joya a little bit. Let's take another look at that. You see, he's battling here with Christopher Schaefer. Joya gets to the inside. And the 84 just lost it off the 2. We've seen that happen a couple times here on this run. Once those tires go away, start looping it a little bit right on the edge of the 2. And this time there was no one there to catch the car that was spinning. And the 84 goes around.
Down the pit lane with the 11 of Matt Robinson. He's led quite a few laps here today. Almost into the double digits now. 9 laps led for the number 11. He took the lead over from the 54. It'll be interesting to see, though, because these drivers were nose to tail down pit road. It's who hit the box perfectly. No mistakes here for the 11 of Matt Robinson. Looks like he's going to retain the lead. It's going to be close here. In the 19 of Berube.
Looks like Robinson may have gotten Forget Berube by a nose. It was not by much, though. Tell you what, who actually really lost in that exchange was Jeremy Burns. He lost 2 spots on pit road.
Got to back this up one more time. See if we can get it from our drone camera. See if we can get a better angle of this pit exit. There's got to be a better TV cam. There it is. It's about as close as it gets. I'd say a couple hundredths of a second there on that exit.
Yeah, it looks like the nose of Forget's car was right about at the front wheelbase of the 11, but Robinson just quick enough to get off pit road in time. Burns going to drop 2 spots from 2nd to 4th. Forget and Raider both up 1. Now Matt Robinson going to have his work cut out for him here. There is 3 very fast race cars directly behind him. Now make it 4. You got Caleb Gilbert lurking there in 5th now on fresh tires, and we've seen how fast that 54 is when he gets a little bit of clean air.
3 cautions, 7 lead changes. Caleb Gilbert, your stage winner. We're going to say something about Robinson, I believe.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, we've seen him lead a couple laps so far. He's had a good start to the year, currently sitting top 3 in points, but this is going to be a prime opportunity to really make his mark on this season. Going to try and go out there and battle with, you know, the reigning champ, the guy with the most wins last year, and Forget, who, dare I say, might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now, because he's had to pass basically everybody tonight.
Alex Forget, also a winner last season. Problem with Forget's season was that if he wasn't in the top 5, he probably didn't finish the race. He had a lot of DNFs last year. We'll have to wait and see if he can turn that all around as we're coming up for the green flag. 4th time today that the iRacing pace cars had to pull out. Well, we're back in racing from Vegas. No time wasted here for Rob Raider to the inside of the 19. Oh, and the 11 gets loose.
Good run. Here goes Raider to the inside. Going to try to capitalize. He's not going to be clear, though, off the corner.
He is running it hard there through 3 and 4. He'll cut the tri-oval and try to take over the point. Robinson leads that time by. As they enter turn 1, though, it's going to be a deep dive.
It's not going to be enough. Robinson going to hold on to the lead for now. Raider going to have to settle back into P2, and here comes Forget right to his back bumper in 3rd.
So the 11 of Robinson proves that he deserves to be up here. He defends after a little mistake out of turn 2. Holds off the 53, who's going to look to the inside, now to the outside.
He tried doing a little under-over move. elevator his way to the top lane. Going to get a big run down the back straightaway. But will he be able to use it? Because Forget's right to the inside. Looks like he's going to be able just to get down before they enter the corner. Probably not the way Raider drew it up. He was probably going to try to use that momentum off the high side to set up a run here on Robinson, but had the focus clearing Forget. Who's had a really fun little battle there as we see multiple battles of 3 wide through the front stretch.
Here's side by side with Picklesheimer, Nick Alves, the 54 of Caleb Gilbert, who won the stage, falls back to the 6th spot. The side by side continues back here just behind Tyler Harrison. 39 of Grant Turner on the high line.
A little side-by-side battle here with Jackson McGeorge. The 98 on the inside trying to take that spot away. Battling for 16th at the moment. Turner up on the high side.
To the wall.
The only couple, oh boy, almost tagged the fence there. 39 still trying to recover from that earlier spin. Right now, doing a mighty fine job of cutting it as close as he can to that wall without tearing it down.
Yeah, Grant Thorpe and Justin Ritchie side by side. This is for the 18th position. Ritchie gets the advantage going through 1 and 2. Not quite clear though coming out of turn 2. He'll have to change his entry line into 3 and 4. He could clear the 77 here out of the exit. He will.
Martin Johnston, Nick Alves here. A good battle going on for 8th. The 48 going to dive down, clear the 24. Here comes Kevin Orlando Jr. trying to take a look to the inside as well. And we've got ourselves a very high-speed battle going on in the back end of the top 10. There's some really fast cars trying to sort this one out. Here comes Dakota Floyd for the picture as well. The pole sitter trying to break back into the top 10 for the first time since the early going of this one. Currently trapped in the 11th spot. You can see a lot of those positions just in front of him here.
Well, it's a lot of the names that we saw earlier when we were talking about all that 3 wide racing and all the chaos that was outside the top 10. These are drivers that now with the pit stop cycle, everybody's on even tires. Kind of the same names though, same action that we saw earlier.
Out of those, I'll tell you, one driver, or actually there's a couple drivers here in the top 10 who are doing some really good jobs making their way toward the front. Trevor Erhardt, Dylan Picklesheimer, making some big moves here. Erhardt up from 24th to 5th. Picklesheimer 20th to 6th. And of course, obviously, Matt Robinson, your leader, started 21st here today. So he's up 20 spots, but he has got some company again after a couple of laps waiting in the wings. Rob Rader is glued to the back bumper of the 11 once again. Less than a car length separating the two through the corner, and about the same down the front straightaway.
On board with Rob Rader, he's going to peek to the inside through 1 and 2. The 11 gets a little bit loose, hitting those bumps. Alex Forget's keeping the 53 honest, though. If he makes a mistake trying to make a pass, Forget could get to his outside. It's 1, 2, 3, nose to tail, out of 3 and 4.
Trying to see who's going to be the one to try to step out and make a move. Robinson. Maybe going to show the inside, the Raider here, the 53. A good run into the corner. Will he be able to make anything happen? He's got the 19 glued to his back bumper. And Raider, a little bit of side draft, trying to pull alongside. Now it's just a matter of can he clear. He is down toward the apron. Definitely not clear yet, though. A great run off the exit from the 11.
And the 53 of Raider did lead some laps earlier in this race. He almost led one that time by. The 11 holds on. Great defense out of turn 4 and even better defense into 1 and 2. Robinson's definitely leaving his mark on this one.
Yeah, he is putting up an absolute show at the front right now. Door to door, Rob Raider. And now second, third, and fourth, they're all into the mix. Here comes Picklesheimer up to 5th. they're all in the mix. I mean, the top 10, you could throw a blanket over all of them. It is 0.7 of a second between 1st and 10th right now. And at Daytona, that makes a lot of sense. At a place like Las Vegas, that's how you know everyone is going for it right now. Still a great duel up front between Robinson and Rader. And now Forget and Erhardt trying to sneak their way in as well.
Erhardt actually has the preferred line here. If the 11 can get back clear, they're going to look 3 wide with Picklesheimer. Forget on the bottom for 3rd. Car in the wall. That was the 41 there briefly. He's going to concede the position, and Rader really dives it down. He'll clear going into 1.
An ambitious move from Rob Rader gets him the lead. And now Robinson and Forget trying to work back on the outside. Robinson, though, not able to get that run. Side drafting with the 19. Now for 2nd, 2 and 3 wide. Here deeper in the top 10. Parker Johnson, Caleb Gilbert going to work. Man, everywhere you look right now, there is a fantastic battle happening, and they're all, especially right at the front of the field. You have a good battle here as well. Kyle Diaz, Grant Thorpe, just outside the top 10.
So you go through this field, you talk about the top 10, how great they're battling. But some of these drivers started outside of the top 10. I'm talking about Trevor Erhardt, talking about Dylan Picklesheimer, Matt Robinson, and even Parker Johnston. These guys started well outside of that. Caleb Gilbert, no, he was actually just inside the top 10 to start this one. But it's just the flip-flop of this field. The guys that maybe didn't qualify well, that are just better at managing the tires. Right now, I don't see much tire management going on this track, Alex.
Yeah, no, that's the last thing on these guys' minds right now. I'm pretty sure that because they know they need to make one more stop here before the end of this race, they are just letting it all hang out right now. You're almost seeing 3 wide here. Picklesheimer, Erhardt, and Burns. 4th, 5th, and 6th. We've had a phenomenal battle here just behind the leaders with these guys. Picklesheimer just leaning into the back bumper of Erhardt. The 41 had chopped the nose off the 35 a couple of times going through the tri-oval whenever the 35 had a run, had nowhere to take.
He chopped the nose of the 9 just now.
Yeah, he did. Oh, and Picklesheimer's around. Off the nose of Jeremy Burns. The 35 spinning down to the apron, and the caution's out for the 3rd time today of natural causes.
Minimal damage here for the 35, and that was not the 9's fault. If we want to place blame, well, we saw it live.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we couldn't have asked for a closer view of that. We'll take another look at it here. And that's just maybe a split second ahead of where we'll need to see what happened, but from the onboard we were watching, I mean, we saw how tight things got, the 41 and the 9, and then, yeah, the 35 just gets a little bit of the wall and nearly gets it collected, but just taps the nose of the 9 of Burns, and there goes Picklesheimer, and it's a tough break for his race. He was having a phenomenal run going to this point. Hopefully he's got some time to work his way back through the field, because he was on a march toward the front before that happened. So everyone going to be making their stops down pit road here for what could potentially maybe be the final time in this one.
I think it's going to be the last time. This is going to be really close. It's going to put them right around that 40, 45 lap mark. I think they can make it to the end. It's going to be close.
Everyone trying to get their new tires, fuel up as much as you can for the end of this thing. Highly doubt anyone goes off strategy here. I think you'll need all 4 to make it to the end here if this stays green.
Terry Hudgens in the chat. I'm going to place blame on the fan favorite just because I can.
You know what?
Race off of pit road there. Again for Forget.
He keeps it interesting coming off of pit road. He's keeping them honest.
Oh boy. Well, we have more to unpack here and plenty of racing left to be done. We'll have just over 40 laps to go, or just under 40 laps to go when we go back green. It's going to be right on that money. But you are watching the Chapman Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution. The Recharge Rally 200 from Las Vegas. More coverage will continue on V-Speed right after this.
Been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
Welcome back live. Green flag is out on lap 93. Rob Rader has the lead. Alex Forget, who's been racing these guys off of pit road all night long, finds his way in the battle for the top spot.
He might take a look to the inside here, going into 3, thinks against it, will settle right back in to the tire tracks at the 53 of Raider. These two starting to pull some distance, and now bouncing to the outside is Forget.
That's the line you want right there. Alex Forget's going to take over the top spot if he can hold this outside line through 1 and 2. And he will.
And he is checking out from Rob Rader. He opened up that gap in a heartbeat going through the corner. And now the 53's got company with Matt Robinson and Caleb Gilbert knocking on the door. We've got ourselves a hornet's nest right here.
Just
Parker
click
Johnson,
on the
Jackson McGeorge, oh boy.
Just click on the outside top 10 and it's going to be chaos back here.
And chaos is what we're getting. Multiple rows of 3 wide deep. There's McGeorge. Oh, I thought he was about to send it in to the inside on Harrison.
He thought about it.
He certainly did. The gap was there for a split second. Probably. Oh boy, Kyle Stewart around. Kyle Stewart.
Chris Nail involved as well. And that machine's
that's heavy
broken.
Damage.
Maybe done for the day. I think he is.
That's some pretty significant damage there to the 10 machine. I guess he may not have been meatballed. He's elected to not go down pit road that time unless he is meatballed, but just not trying to get a penalty for entering a closed pit. But boy, yeah, the back end of the 10 looks pretty devastating here. This was just behind what we were watching through 1 and 2.
Oh, the 10.
The wall and the 10 got loose.
I think the 10 maybe, it looks like loose, but I think maybe was trying to avoid that car on the wall in front of him here. Back this up, give it another chance.
Yeah, that was Grant Turner in front of him, who hit the wall off of 2. Curious if he tried avoiding him.
It maybe was a little bit loose, but I think he was going to try to carry that to the bottom, and the 88 car was on the inside.
And that's a tough break for the 88. Sounds like he just got out of the race car after having a pretty solid run. Looks like his day is going to be over.
Let's see if we can dial up Kyle Stewart here. He's going to hit his pit stall. Kyle Stewart, it's
Damn it,
Bradley
I'm done.
Cooper, and Alex Gagnon in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, it looked like the car got a little bit loose, but there was also a car hitting the wall in front of you. It looked like you were just going to kind of carry that around the car in front of you, but someone to the inside there, tough break.
Yeah, it was just more of a reaction to the outside car into the wall. He'd been into the wall two laps ahead, maybe 3 laps in a row, and I just kind of reacted and probably overreacted just a touch.
Well, it was kind of a decent race going for you. You've been in and out of the top 10 a couple times. You were right there on the edge of the top 10. Just a tough break here for the 10 team.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put a solid race. I'm new to the league. I want to show that I'm fairly decent, and it's been a rough couple weeks here. So on to the next track and try to be a little bit better every week. That's all I can do.
Well, I'll just give you a pointer. The top line is overpowered at Homestead. Anybody you want to shout out, though, while we have you in the booth?
I just want to thank the teammates, the sponsors here, and all the guys that run the league. I appreciate everything. I appreciate to be a part of this. Wish it would have went better today, but still appreciate it. Still a fun time.
Kyle Stewart, tough break for him, but the number 10 on pit road getting some damage repaired. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, Kyle.
Appreciate it.
So just, victim of circumstance, he'd said like 2 or 3 times there. We had seen the 39 getting into the wall. We have seen Grant Turner have some problems here today, and just an overcorrection, overreaction. We've seen that a lot today as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially off of turn 2, we've seen a lot of cars just not quite hit the exit of that the way they want, and then the back end steps out on them just a little bit, and on fresher tires, you're usually able to catch it without much of an issue. Once you start putting a few laps down, though, then it becomes a little trickier, and I know they had just come down pit road a few laps earlier here. But yeah, we've seen that turn 2, the exit has been a real trouble spot for a lot of folks this season.
We're checking in with some of the drivers that have had problems earlier in this race. Hudgens back on the lead lap. You've got a few drivers like Trevor Keith that are a little bit off here tonight. Michael Reed back on the lead lap. Only car a lap down right now is Kyle Stewart. He's getting damage repaired. We still have 30 cars on this racetrack.
We have Alex Forget-Berube, who is absolutely torching the field.
Oh, big trouble in the back of the field. Joe Joya in the 7. 39.
Grant Turner also in the wall.
How did we stay green?
That is a fantastic question. I have no idea, because the 7, the front end of that car is absolutely destroyed.
This happens around the 25th position, 20 position. Gonna see contact here with the 13 of Likens, takes him all the way down the racetrack, and we
Whoa.
stay green through that.
I have no idea how. I mean, Grant Turner glued to that fence. The 7 tattooed it with the front end of his car. Both of them down pit road, but alas, we stay green. We're coming to 34 laps to go this time by.
Grant Turner looks like he's done for the day.
Some obvious frustration there from 39. He's running up high, and a missile came up from the inside of the track after that contact between Likens and Joya.
We'll try to find Grant Turner here and try to get a word with him as soon as we can. Not in the Discord right now. Might have left it early. But you're watching the lead off the back end of Alex Forget-Berube. We've had some surprises here tonight at Las Vegas, and that's what this place is all about. A little bit of a gamble. You just see drivers gambling left, right, and center through 3 and 4.
You got John Fike up on the high side, McGeorge to the middle, Richie down low. Elevator move from Harrison just in front of him, now moving back up to the track. That 45 is active right now, trying to find his way around Kyle Diaz. He was all over that front stretch.
And the Rally Daddy, Twisted T-Cam, Presented by Recharge Rally, back on board here with Tyler Harrison. He's at a top 15 car, don't get me wrong. Would love to see him break the top 10 as he gives Diaz a little bit of a bump draft coming out of 4.
Give him the 26. A little bit of physical encouragement to move his way on up toward Parker Johnson there as Jackson McGeorge rips it into 1 and 2. He'll take that spot away. He might get around Diaz as well, who clips the wall. At 98, has picked up some speed here in the closing laps. He's all the way up to 13th now from 33rd.
And that's what I was saying earlier. These guys that started outside the top 10 have done a fantastic job of managing their stuff. I guess, relate to that because that's how I am. I don't qualify well. You can ask anybody. I don't qualify well in a lot of places we go. But if the races stay green, I don't get caught up in anything because I start in the back of the field. You usually can work your way back up front, managing the tires, letting these guys burn their stuff off. We see it time and time again as we have a change for the lead. Rob Rader gets around the 19 down the tri-oval, and here comes the 11 of Matt Robinson. All over the back bumper.
And now here comes Forget back to the outside. They might be 3 wide by the time they get to turn 3.
And the fan favorite Burns in the mix.
Oh, look at this. Top 5.
Contact.
All right on top of each other.
The 11 got into the 53, gets loose coming off of 4. The 9 of Burns looks to the outside, lifts out of the throttle to let the 11 catch it. Now it's defense, and Berube somehow finds his way as Trevor Erhardt, I think, got into the 53 of Rob Rader.
It has been getting really physical up front the past couple laps. And the only car that's really benefited has been the 19 of Alex Forget. He is starting to open up that gap just a little bit, just enough to start getting some separation again. But now here comes Rader once again, back on the throttle. I mean, you can just see how stacked up the top 10 is right now. We're on board with Parker Johnston. He's only a second adrift to the lead, and he is about to fall outside of the top 10 as Dakota Floyd was looking to the outside.
You also have the 12 of Justice Murphy. He's looking to get into this top 10, currently in the 11th position. 54 Gilbert's around.
Oh, and Robinson gets caught up in it. Heavy contact there with Diaz.
Caution is out here on lap 108. This will probably bring drivers back down pit road.
Take another look at it here. This was inside the top 5. And just running out of space there with Robinson and Gilbert. And then the 11 just gets bowled over by Diaz. That's a tough break for both of Caleb Gilbert and Matt Robinson. Both of those guys have led a ton of laps here today. And we're still very actively in the hunt for the race win, running inside the top 5. Heavy damage there to the front end of Diaz's car as well. Looks like everyone's coming down pit road one more time here. Felt a perfect opportunities. We'll take the Skycam look with the 11 and the 54, and it's just, yeah, 54 was already up as far as he could be, probably to the wall. The 11 kept working his way up to try to side draft, and the two of them just met at a bad point.
We have some cars staying out here. Dylan Picklesheimer decided to stay out this time around. He had brought it down pit road a little bit ago.
So Forget's going to win that battle off of pit road with Rader. Erhardt's going to beat Burns. But now Dylan Picklesheimer, who it's worth noting, like, he had some really good speed before he got caught up in an earlier incident. So he actually might find himself a pretty competitive battle here up at the front with what'll be just over 20 laps to go when we go green. Christopher Schaefer also staying out, which means likely this front row is going to be cars who have not come down pit road yet, and then everyone else who has just behind them.
Yeah, Picklesheimer got caught up there behind the 41 of Trevor Erhardt, got contact with the 9 of Burns after hitting that outside wall, kind of came down across the nose of the 9. So he's been trying to get all these positions back, saw an opportunity. He had brought it down pit road on that prior caution we'd had earlier with the, I believe that was the 39. Actually, the 39 didn't bring a caution out. I'm a little bit off track here. Justin Ritchie, I believe, was the one. Nope, it was the 10. Kyle Stewart. He's back out on the racetrack.
And he is scored 13 laps down, but with Joe Joya and Grant Turner both scored 11 laps down, the 10 being on track means he might be able to pick up a couple more positions before this one's said and done. Not to mention, I mean, you know, for better for worse, there is more than 13 laps to go in this one, so if there was another quick caution that caught somebody up, you might be also able to grab those spots.
So Dylan Picklesheimer, Christopher Schaefer, the front row, Alex Forget-Berube, Rob Rader, row number 2, Trevor Erhardt, Jeremy Burns, Nick Alves, Al Likens, Kevin Orlando Jr., and Justice Murphy on that top 10. We still have over 20 laps to go here from Las Vegas in week number 5. The pace car is going to get out of the way. We're going to try to unleash these 358 cubic inch stock cars around this 1.5 mile oval in the desert. Green flag's out, back underway.
There's a good launch there for the inside lane. Picklesheimer got going well. Forget follows him right on through. And Christopher Schaefer trying to hold on to that third spot right now for Rob Rader and Jeremy Burns behind him.
And a fan out in the back,
wreck.
4 wide.
Erhardt's around. The 41 sideways on the back straightaway, bringing out the caution almost instantly.
And it's a wonder there weren't more cars involved in that. You saw the whole top 20 fan out, 4 wide.
And just as quickly as they got going, they're going to get checked up again. We'll take a look here to see what happened. We'll keep an eye on that gold, red, white, and blue, number 41, Trevor Erhardt. And looks like maybe Burns may have got a piece of the wall, or the 41 came up a little high. We'll take another look at that. But it's the 9 and the 41 who make contact here. Boy, that's a heavy impact. Trevor Erhardt. I'd be shocked if that was it. Looks like maybe the 9 got a little out of sorts off the corner, and the 41 trying to get all the way up as far as he could. The side draft the 9, and the 2 of them just came together. Now you see the 9 shift down, I don't know, maybe about a quarter of a lane or so as the 41's trying to get as tight as possible. And you know, we've just seen that happen a couple times here tonight, Bradley, where cars just make contact in the really vulnerable areas of the corners. And it doesn't take much to get them around.
This is fitting right into the wheelhouse, though, for Dylan Picklesheimer. If he can get more of these, he might be sitting pretty. He has those fresher tires. He's getting good restarts. Alex Forget, Christopher Schaefer, the top 3. We'll hit the choose cone here in just a moment. But so far, it's been action-packed here from Las Vegas. 7 cautions with 12 lead changes. We'll take another quick break here on V-Speed. Again, you are watching the Recharge Rally 200 from Las Vegas. More coverage right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Las Vegas, Bradley Cooper and Alex Gagnon. Live here on V-Speed, the Chapman Environmental Cup Services. Or Cup Services. Yeah, we're running out of words to say in the proper order here tonight. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
We try our best up here.
That we do. That we do.
How's about this? Dylan Picklesheimer into turn one. Green flag is out. And we're going to have 2019 now to go.
Picklesheimer going to get all the way down to that apron. Forget going to try to roll a lane off the bottom. Good momentum, little over under. And here comes the 19 to the inside for the lead.
Three wide just behind him.
Maybe get it? Oh, Burns was up in the wall there.
And that's not going to work out well off of turn four. They hold on to it. Still three wide just behind him. That's Likens down to the bottom in 8th position, trying to get around the 23 in the middle. Remember, he stayed out with the 35. He's falling through the middle of this field.
And it is getting ugly in the mid-pack. Jackson McGeorge nowhere to go right now. We're on board with Dakota Floyd. He's got that 98 to his inside, and he's got the slower car, the 23 in front of him. On those older tires. Oh, McGeorge around. The 98 through the grass, trying to hold on to it. He's doing some landscaping here. The yellow is going to stay away. We're going to keep racing at speed, but that is a tough break for the 98. He had done so much good work over the course of this race. He was up about 20 spots. Not going to have the time to get those back.
And we're currently being viewed in Disneyland, or Disney World, rather. Sonny Poston watching all the way on the West Coast. Appreciate you tuning in. Wait, is that East Coast? I can't remember. Disneyland and Disney World. One's in California, one's in Florida.
Land's the California one. I want to say World's in Florida, which means
yes.
That means someone watching this is within a concerning radius of my apartment.
They're actually pulling the feed from your apartment right now.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
From your window.
They're just watching. If they're watching through the third floor window, that would be pretty scary. Anyways, we got four up in the front here. Raiders around Picklesheimer as well. 35 holding on pretty good here on those older tires. He's only dropped back to third. He's got a bit of a gap back to Jeremy Burns, but you know, the way this race is developed, I think we're watching what will be the battle for the race win here unfolding in real time between Alex Forget and Rob Rader. Two of the fastest cars all day long up at the front here in the closing laps.
And Drosselmeyer just let me know, reminding me. Thank you for that. Appreciate you guys in chat. Oh, the 19 gets really tight. He's sending it.
What was that? He nearly lost it there into the wall.
That's
and
the
Rob
bumps
Rader,
in 1 and 2.
You talked about it in the pre-show, and boy, was that an ugly time for it to rear its head here in the closing laps. And now Forget might be losing out on the Rob Rader.
He will lose the lead. Rob Rader going to take over the top spot. You have a slightly damaged Jeremy Burns in 4th position behind Justice Murphy. It's a hornet's nest outside the top 10. That's just what it's been all night.
I tell you what, that battle for the lead ain't over yet. Forget has battled back on the outside. He has not let Rob Rader get away. Here comes the 19 off of turn 4. They're going to be door to door. Oh my goodness, they are not going to give each other any bit of room out here. And those hits are only going to get more and more aggressive the longer they keep up this side-by-side battling.
Alex Forget sees an opportunity here. Started.
And he's going to get around him.
In the top 5 here today. Started in second.
Had that EOL that dropped him all the way back. Oh, Bennett's around on the back straightaway. And we stay green again. Nope, never mind. I called it just a second too early. Oh boy, does this change the complexion of this thing or what?
Watch right here with Bennett. You had the 23 in the middle here of Schaefer. There's contact. Good job letting it roll.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job keeping it off the inside wall. No damage for the 14. Definitely flat spotted the tires, but no structural damage to that car, and he'll be able to soldier on here in the closing laps. But yeah, heavy contact with the 23. Looks like Michael Reed, the front end got caved in there, hitting the back bumper. Someone who was checking up for that one. I think that might have been Diaz who was checking up.
Well, we trying to get a good angle here of all the black marks on the apron of the racetrack. He saved this car for almost a mile.
It was a tall order, but he found a way to make it happen. And not a lot of takers for pit road, but there was a couple in the back. John Fike was the highest running of any of them who did come down pit road. I want to say he was outside the top 15. But there was a few takers trying to maybe get some fresh tires here and maybe gain some positions late. I actually really like this strategy. I think assuming that you were already at the way back, you'll be able to get some of those. If you were kind of mid-pack, it gets a little fuzzy. I don't know how much of a tire difference there will be. There will definitely be some.
It's fall off. There is a lot of fall off. I think we're sitting right around with the 15-lap stint. We were seeing close to 7/10 of fall off here in the first stage of the race. Now, these guys might have been driving harder versus now. But yeah, we're right around that 15-lap mark again. I like it here with Hudgens. He stayed out there earlier in this race. He got caught up in some things, lost a lot of positions. But now, he might look like a rocket ship.
Yeah, him and the 65 were the first 2 cars off of pit road. Of those who stopped, looks like they've settled out the 16th and 17th. And now Joe Joya is going to pit, so that'll give him one more, so make it 15-16 for the 65 and the 84. And honestly, could be a really good position for him to get back into the top 10 before this one's said and done. Juice cone happening as we speak. It'll be Alex Forget to the inside. Dylan Picklesheimer going to go up high because Rader elected to file in second car on the inside. So the 35 is making that strategy work. You know, he's going to, at the rate we're going, he might be able to make it to the end of this thing, top 5, top 10 on that alternate strategy.
Well, the list of names on the left-hand side of your screen right now, pre-race, I might have called you a liar. Some of these guys were outside of the top 20 to start this race. How about that?
It's been a quality day for Justice Murphy. He's up 22, and, you know, he's got as good a chance as anybody right now to try to go take that win. He's about as close to the lead as he's been all evening long. And why not try to have a run out of here when we have about 8 laps to go?
Remember, we do have green-white checkers in this series. 2 attempts here tonight. Do we have to use them, or do we run out these remaining 7 laps when we take the green flag? Here we go from Las Vegas. Who's going to gamble? We've already got one gamble with the 35. Green flag is out. Not able to get it going for Picklesheimer.
Wasn't a great launch for that outside lane. The 12 got to give him a good shove into turn 1. Looks like Burns is going to slide on by here. as everyone tries to file in and below Dylan Picklesheimer. Forget's got the lead, but Rob Rader is not giving him an inch to breathe as they go into turn 3. And now he's looking to the inside for the lead.
He knows that he needs to get it quickly. He could be the command car for these next restarts. 53 has the point. If we get a caution, that's what he's thinking right now. I need to go up here and snag away, at least get a nose. And look at Jeremy Burns, even with the damage, the 9 car. Gets his way to 3rd. Contact with the 12 of Murphy. The 35 of Picklesheimer still holding on to the top 5. In the background, you've got the 89 of Michael Call making some evasive moves to the inside of the 57. That's your pole sitter. He still hasn't been able to get back to this top 10.
And up front, they are door-to-door for the lead still in these closing laps. Here comes Jeremy Burns, trying to make it a 3-horse race up at the front. Forget's got a nose ahead of Rader, but the 53 going to get that run off of turn 2.
And look at Justice Murphy putting his nose in here as well. Top 4 right on top of each other. 53 of Rob Rader holding on to the lead. 5 laps to go.
The 53 back out front, just ahead of Forget. Burns and Murphy going to duke it out for 3rd. Here comes the 19 back to the inside. Boy, they just continue to trade that lead spot back and forth. Rader makes a good move, Forget makes a better one, and then Rader one-ups him, and the 19 goes right back at him. Just punch for punch here in the closing laps.
4 laps left here from Las Vegas. 53 of Rob Rader had the momentum out of turn 4. 0.03 of a second crossing that line. 19 buries it deep into turn 1. Will we see the slider? We will. All the way up to the outside
that lead
wall.
away. And here comes Justice Murphy.
Into the wall here for the 12. I think it's going to be a 2-horse battle here for the end.
It's a small gap, but a noticeable one there between 2nd and 3rd. They go through 1 and 2. It's a 1.5 car length advantage for the 19 of Alex Forget. Does Rob Rader have anything left to try to make another charge to the front?
Off of turn 4, they're going to get the 2 to go signal. Justice Murphy kind of out of the picture here. You can see the 9 in the background here trying to play defense. He's got Caleb Gilbert now on his back bumper, and the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr. for the top 5.
A little side-by-side action between the two here for position number 5. Gilbert trying to hold on to the top spot, the 27 down low, as the leaders are going to be making their way off of 4 to take the white flag.
1 lap to go, presented by Erhardt Homes. Love where you live. Alex Forget loves where he's living right now. 0.3 of a second ahead of Rob Rader.
Just has to keep it battened down for one more set of corners to pick up his first win of the season.
And a move there by Burns trying to get around the 12 of Justice Murphy. Murphy holds him off, and off of turn 4 for the final time. Here he is. Alex Forget is going to add his name to the list of winners in Season 1.
Tell you what, a phenomenal drive today from the 19. Qualified front row, had to take the EOL, work his way back to the front of the field, and then he had to put on an absolute show. Him and Rob Rader going at it in those closing laps, man. What a battle between those two. A little bit of tap there from the 53. I think acknowledging just how hardly fought that battle was between the two of them. And everyone giving the 19 a bit of love here.
Season 5 here on the list of names. First time winner of the 19. And it's a limited list. 4
he
different
did pick
drivers.
up a win or so last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, first of this season for sure. And 4th different winner of this year through 5 races.
Sometimes I shout. Top 3 there on your screen. Alex Forget is about to burn it down across this tri-oval. What a quiet day to start this thing out. He started on the front row, fell through the field a little bit here. Finds his way back to the top spot, and once you gave that 19 car the lead, it was tough to get it back. Rob Rader tried.
And he was able to take it away twice there in the closing 10 laps. It just, the moment that the 53 got clear, the 19 went right back at him. It was just left, right, punch for punch between the 19 and the 53. And ultimately, that last move from Forget, the winning one.
Still waiting on Alex Forget here. We're going to try to pull him down into our studio. Alex Forget Berube. It's Bradley Cooper and Alex Gagnon in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy? You are muted.
It would help if the microphone would be unmuted. Yes, sorry, got you.
It's all good. Congratulations on getting the victory here today. How about it? I mean, you led 28 laps. You started on the front row. The race did not pan out, though. It looked like in that first stage you got caught behind because of that caution coming out there at lap 27 or 28. It kind of put you behind the 8 ball, but once that 19 car found its way back to the lead, you were almost unstoppable.
Yeah, coming from the back of the pack, it was really about taking my time. And when they started pitting, because the cars were very loose at the beginning without rubber on the track, I wanted to be pretty close to what my teammates were doing. So I decided to pit from the back with them. We got caught up with the caution a lap down. But from there, we all grouped up together and we charged up to the front, finished somewhere like 7th in the stage to get some points. And from there on, it was just a charge up the front with me, Rob, Jeremy. It was very fun.
And you went back and forth. It was 4 or 5 different cars here trading for the lead. You had Gilbert, you had the 35 of Picklesheimer, you had the 53 of Rader, the 12 even stuck his nose in there, the 9. So many different drivers here tonight that you were contested by. How did you adapt? How did you overcome all of those different driving lines, all those different styles?
Well, it was very much about the track more than anything else, and how much you could save the rear tires out of the car, because after 15, 20 laps, it was very, very loose. And you had barely enough grip to hang out of the car and just hang out and be where you wanted to be. And at the end, the track cooled down a little bit, and I felt like 4th gear was pushing the car so much better than 5th into the corner. So at the end, it was pretty much a battle of 4th gear more than 5th gear.
Well, you saw the bumps there in turns 1 and 2. I saw you make a little mistake there. That allowed Rob Rader to catch up to you. How bad were the bumps here today?
The apron bumps were pretty awful, especially 1 and 2. It was making me really loose pretty much all day long, exiting 2 after 15 laps. But at the end, like I said, the fourth gear gave so much more grip from the front that it was easier to hang out of it and get the looseness out of the car and just get it where I wanted to be. It was hard, but it was very fun.
Alex Forget having fun out here tonight. Anybody you want to shout out, put that car in victory lane here today.
My teammates helped me so much today. Performance and EXR are the best teams. Enginuity Power Systems, Erhardt Homes, and Buttkicker are sponsoring the car, as well as Chapman, Maxi. So I got to thank all of them. They make this league possible. You guys for broadcasting the race. Thank you very much. And everybody, my girlfriend is I think she's watching downstairs. Thank you everybody for watching and supporting me. And yeah, again, that was fun. I'm ready to go to bed.
He's exhausted. We'll see you next week at Homestead. We appreciate you coming up here with us.
Thank you.
Alex Forget Berube adding his name to the list of drivers that have won this season. it's a very limited list. Alex, I think right now we need to round up those final race results. And what do you say we take a little commercial break here, live from Las Vegas? We still have more post-race coverage to continue. 134 laps have been completed here from Las Vegas. More coverage, the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, right after this.
Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Recharge Rally 200. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series has concluded 134 laps here today. It was a fantastic show. Race recap up on your screen along with those final race results. 8 cautions, 17 lead changes. The front row. Well, they had a tough time, but Alex Forget found his way back to the front. He will get the victory here today. We got a word with him. We'll get a word with Rob Rader and Justice Murphy, the top 3, in just a moment. But how about that? 23 positions gained for the 12 car to finish this one out. Jeremy Burns finishing in 4th position. Caleb Gilbert, your stage winner here tonight. He'll finish in that 5th position. Kevin Orlando Jr., 6th spot. Parker Johnston, Tyler Harrison, 7th and 8th. Michael Reed, up and down day for the 91. But he'll round out with the top 10. And Nick Alves, finally. After that win, he needed a good one. He'll get 10th position here tonight.
11th here tonight will be Justin Ritchie in the 55. Dylan Picklesheimer. That strategy didn't net him a top 10, but it did finish 12th here in the late race recovery. Dakota Floyd Polstetter finishing 13th. Michael Bennett 14th, and Michael Call rounds out your top 15. Daniel Holloway will finish 16th here tonight, just ahead of Devin Hudgens, Jacob Sirkovich, Grant Thorpe, and Brandon Richardson.
21st position goes to the 11. Tough break for him. He led some laps here today. Matt Robinson, unfortunate there. John Fike, he had a top 10 car as well. He at 65, 22nd. Jackson McGeorge went around there out of turn 4 through the grass. He'll finish in 23rd position. 24th, Kyle Diaz in the 26th. Christopher Schaefer, 25th. Trevor Keith never could get it going. The 15 will finish 26th. Al Likens, 27th. Trevor Erhardt, another one of those cars that definitely deserved to finish in the top, at least top 15. 41 car, 28th position. Kyle Stewart, early exit to the show. He will be 12 laps down. Actually came back out on the racetrack to salvage the day. He picked up a couple spots there, Alex. And Joe Joya, who hit the outside wall, and for some reason, iRacing did not throw the caution. He'll finish 30th. 3 more cars to talk about here at the end of these results. You have Grant Turner that did have an early exit, 39 car, heavy damage. Chris Nail out for the day. And looks like the 22 of Travis Gilbert out very, very early in the 22.
Yeah, connectivity issues there for the 22 machine.
So with that, we are going to go catch up with your top 3. We have our second place finisher, Rob Rader, in the number 53. Rob, I gotta say, man, it's right around the corner. It's been tough so far this season. I think everybody's just thinking we don't want to make him a 5-time.
Yeah, I mean, can you blame him? No, the start of this season now is just kind of crazy. You go to Daytona and then Atlanta and then a road course and then Phoenix and then here. I don't know. So it's nice to be at a real racetrack, and we had a good race tonight. I mean, I really don't have anything to complain about. Sister team car won the race tonight, so super happy for Alex, and just glad to get out of here with a good points day after what could have been a lot of the last couple of weeks. Just didn't pan out, so we'll take it.
Well, we go back to the beginning of this race. You had taken over the lead. The 9 of Burns chased you down. You had a really substantial lead. You took it right away, right out of the gate, but you tried to undercut that pit stop. What exactly do you need to go your way? Is it luck? Is it just the gamble? Was that planned, or did the car just fall off?
I mean, it's so there's a couple things going on there. So I don't have a good explanation for it, but you really didn't want to be leading tonight. It seemed to be detrimental to the car leading. Even if they're trying to save tire, it just didn't work. And I don't know if that's just the draft effect. It also seemed like there was a draft effect in the corners tonight too. So like that lead car, it always felt like you were just burning stuff up more than you expected, even if you were trying to save. So I mean, I that first run, I was babying it. And then when Burns started coming up on me, I started putting the throttle down, and the tires were still cooked. So I don't really know what else to do there. So I made the decision to kind of split the stage in half, and then you get the caution. I don't know. I guess I trusted these guys too much to keep it green early in the race. But, so you get the caution there, and then that gets you back in 23rd or wherever I restarted. And at that point, it's just about trying to figure out how things work back there in the pack, and try to give yourself decent track position. But obviously we're not going to go back and win the stage from 23rd with 14 laps to go. So just back there trying to learn a little bit, and did learn a little bit. And then when it came down to it at the end, just second place sucks for like 5 laps, man. It really does. The lead is really good for a few laps, and then it kind of comes back to you. I don't know. There's something wrong with the car. The left side tires were wearing more than the right side tires all night, and I don't know. Something's wrong with the whole equation. It was difficult to figure out, but at the end of the day, I'm just really happy to come home second in the Chapman environmental car, because the way the season started, second place is what we needed for points today, and I'm hopefully going to find victory lane later in the season, but if we don't, we're going to need this finish tonight, so it's all right.
Well, I can confirm there is something wrong. I'm not going to trash talk on iRacing, but I hope that next week when you guys go to Homestead, they do fix the glitch. For some reason, the fuel calculator hasn't been working correctly. There's been some weird things going on with that. Was out there getting told by my spotter as soon as I left pit road that I needed to come back and get fuel in the car after one lap of driving. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I know we've had some updates, but beautiful track, beautiful weather, and an awesome race. You guys put on a hell of a show. Rob, anybody you want to shout out while we have you up here?
Yeah, obviously got to shout out Chapman Environmental Services. Probably should have been shouted out a couple of times this season so far, and it just didn't pan out. So shout out to them. Shout out to Alex Berube for winning the race. I feel like we had really equal pace, but just the way it ended up at the end, he was in the right spot. He did everything right and won the race fair and square, man. So really excited for him to be in the playoffs. Got to shout out Recharge Rally for sponsoring tonight's race. You're familiar with how this kind of thing goes, Bradley. You know that for the most part, your sponsors are going to be people that are personal connections to somebody running the show, right? Or one of the drivers themselves. Recharge Rally is one of our sponsors that kind of comes from outside and sponsors races for us, and that's really cool. So you guys got to check them out. They're pretty awesome. So shout out to Recharge Rally for sponsoring this race, and I believe they sponsor another race this season. So
Coda.
yeah, that's right. 2 weeks ago or last week, or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So big shout out to them. They're awesome. And then other than that, Enginuity for coming on board this season have helped us out a ton. We've been able to do a lot because of them. Erhardt Homes, Coastal Financial, All About Bugs, all the standard folks. Got to shout out Metroplex too there with Jeremy Burns coming home fourth. He doesn't get to shout him out tonight, so I will for him. But good job by the EXR and Performance guys tonight. Super happy that one of us got the win, and I got out of here without getting junked for once. So nice.
We appreciate your time here, Rob. We look forward to seeing you in 1 week's time there. I believe on the 26th we'll be coming up here at Homestead. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Number 53, just short. Can't add another one here for season number 5, but we're getting ever so close. It's right around the corner. Alex Gagnon, though, you are catching up with our third place finisher. Might be the first time we've had Justice Murphy up in the booth in a little while. Third place here with the number 12.
Hey there, Justice. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, you are a busy driver tonight, having to start and toward the back and working your way up toward the front of the field. What was it like trying to dice your way up toward the front tonight? Because you had to pass quite a few cars.
Man, it was wild. I felt like first stage, my team felt really prepared. We had practiced in some pretty hot conditions, just like this, so we kind of knew the way the car would build. And it showed. I think I had gone all the way to like 15th on speed when green flag pit stop started. And then we got the unlucky caution there. Had to take the wave, ended up restarting like 29th, but you had a handful of cars that didn't take tires at that caution, which was really confusing because the tires were wearing significantly tonight. So ended up driving back up to like 12th right before the stage end. And then just kind of maintained there. I think the lowest I got after that was like 14th on one of the restarts. Had a couple run-ins with guys, talked to a couple of guys and given some apologies out and kind of forced Reed high, got him in the marbles, and he kind of was screwed after that. Felt pretty bad about that one. Got into the back of TK. It was a big checkup for one of those guys that didn't take tires. Kind of sent TK to the back. So one of those things, but yeah, just glad to get the car up here to third, being able to kind of hold off Burns there. Thought I had a shot at it if they would have stayed too wide there with 4 to go, but once they single filed out, I knew I couldn't get to Alex.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question, which was, it seemed like for a moment when they kept trading the lead back and forth, you had slipped right into the picture. Was there anything that you could have done that made it really a 3-car battle, or was where you were at tonight about as much as the car was going to give you?
Oh, gosh. When I got to third, right underneath Burns, and we were basically all 4 under a blanket, I had a pretty big run. I could have gone very bottom underneath Alex there and didn't take it. Just didn't want to get into 3, slide up, cause any problems. And so I think I could have battled. I just don't know. Like I said, once I would have gotten in front of him and say I theoretically cleared them there, I don't know that I could have held off Alex. He was already, he'd gone from the back to the front. So he was pretty quick all night. It would have been pretty tough. Maybe some arrow blocking could have got it done, but was pretty content with third, considering starting position and kind of getting through the adversity of the race.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic drive for you here tonight. Ton of points are going to be going your way. May not be the win, but was still really fun to watch you go to work here, especially in those closing stages, battling amongst everyone in the lead group here. Justice, anyone you'd like to shout out here on the podium finish tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to All About Bugs on the car, KSX Graphics for the paint. That's our boy TK. Shout out to all of my teammates, Tyler, TK, Jacob on the LFM side, and Trevor, Bald Trevor as we call him lovingly, Parker, Maddie, and Daniel over on the RTR side, putting in a lot of work. Shout out to Chapman. 5 seasons these guys have gotten out here and given us a chance to get out here and compete. Buttkicker has been a long-time sponsor. Erhardt Homes for the White Flag sponsor. Enginuity Power Systems coming on this year. Some of the other sponsors, Recharge Rally on the race. Got guys like Coastal Financial that make it happen for us. So yeah, we're lucky. We have all kind of sponsors out here doing things for everybody and give us a chance to give out prizes, trophies, and we really appreciate that.
All righty. Well, Justice, thank you so much for swinging by the booth here. Congrats on the run here tonight, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to talk to you come Homestead.
Absolutely. See you later, boys.
That was a third-place finisher, Justice Murphy in the 12 machine, going all the way from 26th to 3rd here tonight.
Well, there it is. That is going to conclude our coverage of another Wednesday. We still have plenty of racing left to be done. It's week number 6 coming up here in just a matter of time. As soon as I figure out the right buttons to press. There you go. There it is. Chapman Cup Series. March 26th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can tune in. As simple as hitting the subscribe button. And you'll never miss a single race. You'll get those live alerts. It was a fun one here from Las Vegas. Any final thoughts here, Alex, before we let him go?
I think we had a fantastic race tonight, and from start to finish, one of the more entertaining races I think we've got to call this year. There was always something happening, a lot of comers and goers at the front. And couldn't have asked for a better finish at the end there. That was a fun one.
Again, you can tune in at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and make sure to tune in on Mondays for the Truck Series as well. The Coastal Financial Truck Series is going on for their next week. After 4 races, we had a bye week. We'll go on to race number 5. But for everybody that made this race possible, Rob Rader, Jeremy Burns, there's a bunch of people over here in the admin booth, like co-commentator Alex Gagnon all season long, Adam Baker for making this stream look good. Our other producers, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, and Christian Hill. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Las Vegas. We'll see you in 1 week's time in Miami. Until then, stay tracking.